Welcome to Revamp Your Plate, a guide to transforming the Western diet. The Western diet is also known as the standard American diet since roughly 80% of Americans follow it. It's characterized by high intake of prepackaged foods, refined grains, red and processed meat, high-sugar drinks and candy, and fried foods. Americans rank relatively high in obesity rates, and the numbers are continuing to rise. Americans need to take steps to change their habits or there will be dire consequences since 1 in 5 people die from heart disease nationally. So whether you want to make the change for personal health concerns, mental health benefits, chronic disease treatment or more, we'd love to give you some pointers for your journey. Carbohydrates play a large role in the Western diet. The Western diet consists of a large amount of processed foods, added sugars, and simple carbs. The increased consumption of these types of foods can lead to a higher risk for type 2 diabetes, obesity, and cardiovascular disease. To avoid the risks associated with the consumption of these types of unhealthy carbs, a few switches are recommended. Instead of consuming soft drinks, choose seltzer water instead. Instead of adding flavors, sugars, and sweeteners to coffee, choose honey. Instead of processed candies, try out dates. And instead of eating simple carbohydrates, have more complex carbohydrates such as peas, legumes, potatoes, and grains. Protein is one of the fundamental building blocks of life. It's a macronutrient made up of amino acids, which are essential for building and repairing tissues, producing enzymes and hormones, and supporting overall growth and maintenance of the body. The American diet often leans heavily on highly processed proteins like deli meats and fast food, which are packed with preservatives, unhealthy fats, and additives like nitrates. A diet high in processed proteins like deli meats and fast food can lead to heart disease, cancer, obesity, diabetes, digestive issues, and overall inflammation. Given these points, a healthier alternative to heavily processed proteins is to choose high-quality options like grass-fed meat, antibiotic-free chicken, wild-caught fish, and plant-based proteins. Grass-fed meat is rich in omega-3 fatty acids and antioxidants, promoting heart and brain health. Antibiotic-free chicken supports gut and immune health by avoiding harmful chemicals. Wild-caught fish, such as salmon and tuna, is nutrient-rich protein packed with omega-3s and vitamin D. By focusing on these cleaner, minimally processed protein sources and consuming them in balance with vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats, we can shift away from the negatives of the typical American diet. Fats are one of the 3 main macronutrients that our bodies need to function. 3 fatty acids and glycerol combine to form structures called triglycerides. They provide 9 calories per gram and are a great source for long-term energy use. Fats are a vital source for our cell membrane structure. Fats provide protection for our organs by insulating them. Fats also provide us with satiety. They add flavor to our meals and keep us full longer. There are 3 different types of fats: unsaturated, saturated, and trans. Unsaturated fats are liquid at room temperature and have at least 1 double bond. Monounsaturated fats are the best fats to consume, they have 1 double bond present. Some examples of monounsaturated fats include avocado oil and olive oil. These are good oils to add to your diet. Polyunsaturated oils contain 2 or more double bonds. Some examples include omega-3 like fish oil and omega-6 fatty acids like vegetable oil. Next up are saturated fats. These are more of an unhealthy fat but are okay to consume in moderation. They are solid at room temperature and have no double bonds present. Some examples are butter, coconut oil, and animal fat. Lastly is trans fat, also known as a partially hydrogenated oils, which is the worst type of fat. These fats are chemically engineered to change their structural conformation from cis to trans to increase its shelf life. It is usually found in highly processed foods, fried food, and packaged products. What we can take away is that we want to eat more plant-based foods with less processed foods and less red meat. These changes we provided for the American diet align closely with the Mediterranean diet. The Mediterranean diet has been deemed the best diet by the U.S. Health News for a heart-healthy and diabetes-friendly diet. A Harvard study published in 2023 found that people who followed the Mediterranean diet had a 28% lower risk of dying from any type of cancer. Now you may ask, what even is this Mediterranean diet? The Mediterranean diet is primarily a plant-based diet with some animal-based products such as fish and poultry with limited amounts of dairy. The stark contrast of eating less processed meats, red meat, sugary desserts, and processed foods yields the benefits of the Mediterranean diet. All good things come with cons. The Mediterranean diet is not time-convenient, so an easy fix to that problem is to meal prep when you have time. It is also not cheap since healthier foods tend to cost more, but your health comes at a cost. Doctor visits and medical bills can rack up a bill easily. These switches to your diet can be some of the best preventative care you can do for your health.